Boxing Bros UK. Count me amongst them.
Yes.
Christian boy right here, baby.
Hello, everybody. This is Boxing Bros UK here. I am a Hister Boss Chris. This is my co-host, Andrew the Boxing Brain.
Hello.
And we've got a special guest, our good friend.
Yes.
First time he's come on our show. We're always going on his. Elliot from Eat, Sleep, Repeat Boxing.
Check out the channel.
Yeah. I'm well and truly out of my comfort zone here. I'm usually calling the shots, asking the questions. So fair play to you both. But yeah, thanks very much for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Oh, no, thanks for you coming on, because I know you're always like the boss of everyone on your show every time. Yeah, take it away, Dave Allen.
It's all but confirmed, isn't it? So we're looking at what, October 11th. I think it's in Sheffield, quite near his hometown of Doncaster. He's been talking for a while, Dave Allen, about homecoming fights, hasn't he? Apparently, Eddie Hearn, according to quotes from TalkSport, so don't fully quote me on this, that Eddie Hearn gave him 5 names. Allegedly, he said that all 5 of them, he was the underdog, but he tends to kind of say that anyway, doesn't he? Ever the humble operator. And Makhmudov was the one he fancied. Apparently, that's the guy that scares him, that's going to give him a really good, perfect camp for a change. So I'll go to our esteemed guest, Elliot, first. Do you think, my first question is, he said that this guy scares him, is going to give him the perfect camp. We know he can be a little bit, the whole making weight or getting into some sort of shape. Do you think we're actually going to see a super in-fit Dave Allen for a change, Elliot?
No, I don't, chaps. I don't. I just think look, Dave Allen, he's a great personality. It's a great story. And I think he's clearly not a bad fighter, but he does the opposite of live the life, if we're being honest. I went on his Instagram. I think he was in London for some media for the Usyk Dubois fight week a few days ago. Went on his Instagram story in the morning, and I think he was choosing what he wanted to get from Greg's. So I just think that kind of says a lot. He was someone who, that was what, late July, and he's fighting like less than 3 months later. So he maybe shouldn't be in camp, but when you've got a fight in less than 3 months, you shouldn't be in Greg's, basically. It's kind of the way it would sum up. So that's a concern to me. And yeah, and I think just he was saying some things after the Fisher rematch about not being able to run for long periods of time, and still maybe comes in heavier than he should be. So this can still be a force at heavyweight, but I don't know. I just question what he can do in the next couple of months that's going to get him in the shape of his life to beat Makhmudov, in my opinion.
So coming over to you, Chris, same sort of thing, really. I know at heavyweight, look, they're not making weight, but you've obviously got to be working out whether you can go 12 rounds, coming into sort of what same question, just get your take back off what Elliot
is he going to get in the shape of his life? I think
this is what he said he's going to do.
For Dave Allen, probably, yeah. Because it's not a very high bar, is it? Really, let's be honest. The shape of his life is not a high bar. I think he'll do what he did for the Fisher fight. He'll go through the camp, like do the strength and conditioning. He'll do it all. But like same with Martin McCauley, someone can't be with him 24/7, and he's a trother, and he won't do the diet, because that's what he did for the Fisher fight. He even admitted it. He said, "I was fitter and better because I've been in the camp. But I wasn't 100% fit because I didn't follow the diet, because I can't." So along them lines, I'm paraphrasing. So for Dave Allen, he'll be in good shape because he will go through all his strength and conditioning and thingy, but his diet will still be shit. And depending on how the fight goes, that could play a big part.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you two, really. Just give my quick thoughts on it. I know Jamie Moore has been saying that seems to be a good relationship with him, to be fair, that he's hitting all the strength and conditioning markers. It obviously seems to be like the old adage. The easy bits go into the gym, the hard bits when you walk out of it and what you're putting in. We all know that. Even Chris, who's, ripped to fuck, that's the hard bit, isn't it? Late at night, what you're putting in your gob. All Greg's is on the high street, or I'll just nip in there. Look, I hope he comes in. I hope Makhmudov can make, because he's a big, scary looking fella, and I hope it can maybe inspire him to. I'd like to see him get in there, boys, at like 240, 250 even, and have a tank in there as well. That's what I'd like to see, but I don't think he will, so we'll see. So I know you were saying off air when you were talking to Adam Smith that Adam Smith doesn't like this matchmaker with Makhmudov. I personally don't mind. I think it's because it's a name on the record. He's been in there with VNLO. He obviously had that hematoma, didn't he? It was horrific, wasn't it? Big old cricket ball size hematoma on it, so he got stopped in that fight. Abiel, we know he's an elite fighter now, but he sort of showed a blueprint of, you know, chopping him to the body. He hasn't really. I mean, I was looking at his record, and he's got a few decent wins on there. Takan, Wack, and Tepper, you know, when they were still fairly active. But Elliot, good matchmaking or terrible? I think it's okay. I like it. Adam Smith, what's your opinion?
Yeah, I think it depends. In terms of like money, I'm sure Dave Allen's getting paid well. It's one of the biggest fights that's going to take place in the UK this year that's not on pay-per-view, which may be a bit
on
sad.
On our own subscription for a change.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't like it because I think it's such a big step up from the Johnny Fisher fight. Johnny Fisher I class him as area English level fighter. I think he can go on to achieve more than that possibly in his career. He's still a young fighter himself. I think Makhmudov has his weaknesses. We've seen that, but he's a much tougher fight than Johnny Fisher physically. I think he's one of the biggest punchers in the heavyweight division, but he can be got at. He's got his weaknesses, so you can't rule Dave Allen out here. But I would have liked to have seen him fight somebody more on the level of Jamie TKV, which was the fight we thought was going to happen. That was the correct step up for him from Johnny Fisher I think he would have maybe been the slight favourite in that fight, maybe, who knows. But with this one, it's a tall order, in my opinion.
I think that's a fair take, Elliot. That's a fair take. And I know we did a video on this, and Chris sort of brought this to my attention. Eddie Hearn was scathing about the fact that it didn't happen, wasn't he, against TKV? Like, you want to come in on that bit? And also, for you, is it good matchmaking or not?
Well, I had a feeling like Ben Shalom was not going to allow that fight to happen. He likes things in-house. But, like, I kind of agree with Elliot, but I still have a little bit inside me that thinks Dave Allen might be able to pull it off. But I do think, because how Caballero beat him, because he was getting stuck in straight away, going to the body, slipping shots. Like, Dave Allen's a slow starter. And if he starts slow, it could end up where he can't even get into his rhythm. Like, if he starts slow like he did against Fisher, where he's taking like 2 or 3 rounds before he starts letting his hands go. Makhmutov's got a killer, that European style where he'll just jab his head off, start tying him up, getting in a nice little rhythm, and then Allen won't be able to overcome it, because if we think back normally, when he fights better opposition, he don't let his hands go.
David Price, even Fraser Clark.
David Price, Fraser Clark, when he fought for the Commonwealth title, Leroy Thomas, all those fights, like he bottles it, tucks up well, goes into sparring mode and doesn't really throw hands. And it depends, like, because if he does, he needs to start sooner. He needs to start a lot quicker than he normally does. And I just don't know. But on the other hand, Makhmudov has not looked great. That Caballero stoppage was quite brutal. But Caballero's even though he's like a body puncher, he can move. Like, there was a time when Makhmudov was on him, and he managed to slip, duck and dive, and he not ran, but he jumped out of the way and managed to reset. Allen can't do that. There's no way. If Makhmudov, he's not going to be able to move that much out of the way if Makhmudov starts getting stuck in. But he might want to tear up, and so he could win. It's really, I'm on the fence on this one. I can't really decide who to go for. So overall, good matchmaking, I think. But not for Dave Allen.
You like the matchmaking?
Because Dave Allen should have had an easier one, Jimmy TKV, then something like this afterwards. I do think he's jumped a level, but he's still capable.
It's obviously a psychological thing with Dave Allen, isn't it? And I just, it's difficult to know, how much confidence, like Elliot was saying, can he get from the Fisher win? He's on his back working with Eddie. He seems to have got this relationship with Jamie Moore. You just think he's got to go in there kind of like a bit like we saw with Dubois, I suppose. Is he going to revert to tight once he's kind of put under pressure again? I mean, Makhmudov is a big, tall, stiff. He's a big, stiff heavyweight, isn't he? So I just think maybe his game plan's got to be, and I'll kind of put this to you, Elliot. If Dave Allen is to get through this, what's his game plan got to be? Like, it probably sounds like an obvious question, but what's he got to do mentally and physically to win this, Elliot?
So it's an interesting question, isn't it? And it's going to be really interesting on the night. Makhmudov's last 5 wins have come inside either the first round or the second round. So I think if you're Dave Allen, if you can get to rounds 4 or 5, I think he's got a chance, whether that's by wearing Makhmudov down and stopping him late, or just outpointing him and winning on points. It's not been confirmed yet whether this fight will be a 10-rounder or a 12-rounder. And I have worries about Dave Allen's stamina and activity in the later rounds. But I think that's what it's got to be. I just think try and just survive the first 3 rounds, maybe 4. And then that's when maybe Dave Allen can kind of come on a bit. I know Chris mentioned he's a slow starter. I agree with that. So this might happen naturally, but I think that's kind of how he wins, by surviving the early onslaught.
Do you think caution early? So I'm guessing, Chris, what you're saying, your theory is he's actually not got he's got to do the opposite of that. He's maybe got to let his hands go, get under his jab, head off the line, get in there and get stuck in early. Are you going sort of against?
I'm not against. What I think, because Dave, I'd say get through the first 2 rounds, but then he's going to have to start getting in his own rhythm.
Right.
Because I don't think that he can afford. He needs to be busier than he normally is. Because his punch output is terrible. It is terrible. Look at all his fights. Like, it's very, very. He needs to up it a lot more. So stamina is key for Dave Allen here, because he needs to be upping his work rate, and be a bit more busier than he normally is, and keep going to the body, and then try and force Makhmudov into a tear up. That when they're both in the pocket, just swinging for the fences, I think obviously Dave Allen's short. I think that suits him, and Makhmudov can get drawn into them kind of exchanges sometimes and get himself hurt. He did that in the Caballero fight, and he's done it.
I always remember that shot with Lucas Brown. I know it's kind of just caught him with a great. You're almost kind of thinking, it's got to be, maybe he's going to have a moment like that, or like you both have alluded to, weather the storm. I think Makhmudov's going to go predatory mode the first two rounds, and see if he can weather the storm, not take too much punishment, and maybe just chop him down like a lump. I mean, we're all going by the Caballero win, but we know now Caballero is an elite heavyweight. I mean, we've said it on this channel, where if anyone's going to beat Usyk, and I don't think anyone does, it'll probably be Caballero. So that defeat has aged really well, isn't it? And the Vianello one was, Vianello's a decent top 20 operator, and he had a big.
And it was like 10 years ago.
We don't really know. Really. Like, I'm still not sure about Makhmudov, really, to be honest. But yeah, so no, good answers, boys. So my last couple really is just to get your fight predictions on it. Who wins and why? And also, second one is sort of a double question. And if Allen does win, he's got to go for the British title after that, surely. So yeah, we'll come to Elliot first. Who wins and why? Give me your breakdown.
I'll go Makhmudov round 3. I think people are
bold. I like it.
Yeah, I'm going early. I mean, it could be earlier than that, but I'll go round 3. Dave Allen's very tough. I think people are getting a bit carried away after Dave Allen's win against Johnny Fisher. It was a great win for him, but it wasn't a win against a great operator in Johnny Fisher. This is too much of a step up, and I question if Allen, as tough as he is going to be able to take Makhmudov's power. It concerns me that he's not really been living the life since the Johnny Fisher fight as well, which you need to do when you're stepping up in class as much as he is. So I'm going Makhmudov round 3. And I think, in terms of your answer to your question about Dave Allen, I think it's unpredictable, because nobody was predicting this fight. I would like, if he wins, to go for the British title, but actually I think he'll probably get offered an even bigger fight by somebody a level above Makhmudov, which won't end well, but I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see.
Interesting. Yeah, thanks for your answer. Great answer. Chris, come on.
Yeah.
Give me a bold prediction.
I'm going to go Dave Allen by KO from round 6 onwards. Dave Allen for the KO.
Love it.
Yeah. That's what I'm going for, because every time I've gone against him lately, I've been wrong. So I'm going to continue to back him. And I do think it is a bit of too much of a big step too soon.
It's a big jump, isn't it?
Like we've been saying for years, that Johnny Fisher isn't very good. We've never rated him. We knew this was going to happen as soon as he fought someone.
Chris said, I haven't said as much. Chris has said this quite a while.
Said. Anytime Johnny Fisher's name's been mentioned, like when there was the hype behind him, I was saying, this guy's terrible. He's not going to be able to do. He's not doing anything. As soon as he fights someone,
he's very raw still.
And I did pick Dave Allen to beat him both times as well. So And I just think after this fight, if Dave Allen wins, you're going to see him fighting like Moses Atuma or so, like Elliot said. He's not going to get a British title there. He'll be fighting Derek Chisora, which might not be too bad. He'll get thrown in there for a massive fight. It'll be food for someone like Atuma, or he'll be in for like an IBF title fight because all the belts are going to get separated when Usyk retires. Could have Dave Allen and Chisora for the IBF. You don't know. Parker Atuma for the WBO, Allen Chisora for the IBF. And then poor Caballero will have to fight Coley.
Cheers, Chris. Yeah, no, I to give my 2 cents, I can see both arguments. I don't know what it is about this one. I think because I think the fact that it'll be in his backyard might be a factor. That could be a factor. And I think something weird might happen. I think there might be a weird stop. I've just got a feeling, and I don't know what I'm basing this on, that Dave Allen just might be right up for it and just might catch Makhmudov with something. I don't know, getting underneath his a big overhand Chisora style right hand. I think I'm living more in fantasy land, but yeah. I'm gonna go with that. Just because I think Makhmudov. I don't know. Yeah, so I'll go with maybe a sort of round 8 stoppage win for Dave Allen, but I don't say that with huge confidence. So that's where I'm.
Yeah, neither's mine. But you had gun to your head.
Yeah, interesting fight. Thanks for both your takes, and looking forward to that one.
All right, like and subscribe. Don't forget about Elliot's channel. It's going to be in the description. Eat, sleep, repeat boxing.
Thanks, Jepson.